Good day guys, welcome to another game review, this time between the Chinese Yangyi and the American Wesley. So this matchup is in the Lindores Abbey Rapid Challenge, which is hosted as part of the Magnus Carlsen Chess Tour. This is a first round matchup between these two players. Before you get started guys, please remember to hit the subscribe button, and we will be sure to deliver more great content within the chess world. Okay, so let's jump into things. Yangyi was playing with the white pieces, went d4, and Wesley playing with the black pieces went knight to f6, c4, e6, starting off as a type of a Nm3 setup, knight c3 and d5, transposing to a standard Queen's Gambit Declined position. C takes d, knight takes d5, e4, knight c3, and this is known as the Queen's Gambit Declined exchange. And after c5, Yangyi decides to play a3, which is a kind of an odd move, but just to point this out, what he was trying to do is, if there's any captures on d4, he's just trying to keep the bishop out of b4. Another interesting way to do this is to play rook b1 and avoid the bishop from ever going to b4. So Wesley just continues g6, knight f3, bishop g7, bishop e2, knight c6, and now Wesley played, or rather Yangyi played e5. I can point out another game between Daniel Friedman and Milkuman from 2017, where the game went bishop e3, castles, c takes d, b6, queen a4, bishop e7, rook a1, knight e7, bishop d3, queen d6, and rook fe1, looking very similar to those type of positions that we have seen before, especially in the Grunfeld. So this game ended in a draw. Instead, in this game, e5 was played by Yangyi, and after this, it sort of transposes to that type of position that we saw earlier, but just the structural changes being obviously the pawn on e5. And after h4, h6, bishop e3, bishop e7, castles, queen c7, knight d2, rook d8, rook c1, castles, h5, g5, f4. Now, after f4, queen e7 might have been a good choice, just to point this out. Queen e7, and then you're looking at getting the queen out of this c file, protecting the pawn on g5 at the same time, and threatening to take on d4 at the same time. A very nice move, solving a lot of problems on the board. And a continuation would have possibly been knight c4, g takes f, rook takes f, knight takes e, bishop takes e, rook g4 check, and king h8. Now, the computer suggests that this is quite good for black, but in a practical sense, it looks quite scary. Both players have some activity. Double-edged position. It seems like black can consolidate by playing rook g8, and then these bishops will be a force to be reckoned with. And again, it's very hard to make these choices in practical play. So instead, Wesley decides to go for g takes f4, rook takes f4, and knight e7, rook g4. Now the threat with the pin on the g file is for white to take on h6. Wesley stops this by just simply protecting the pawn. Now all these pieces, g7 and h6, is protected by the knight on the f5 outpost. Bishop f2, king h8, just getting out of the pin. Bishop f3, just simply exchanging those light squared bishops, which may become a problem. Rook g8, a4, rook c8, bishop takes b7, queen takes b7, and knight f3. C takes d, c takes d, rook takes c1, queen takes c1, and the rook returns to c8 in order to occupy the open c file. So queen f1 got played. We thought maybe queen f4 might have been a better square, but nonetheless queen f1 was played, and after queen c6 there seems to be a winning position for black. It's attacking the a2 pawn. It's threatening queen c1, and just the good positioning of black's pieces is making it hard. This rook is sort of out of the game now, and this bishop finds it hard to activate any pieces. This is a critical position where you can see the good versus the bad bishops pointed out. This pawn's on dark squares, which means it's a favorable endgame for black. But things didn't even go that far. Rook f4 was played, king g8, knight h4, knight to e7, bishop to e1, while just trying to activate the pieces. And finally, black decides to take on a4. King h2, queen d1. Now there's some big threats on the back ranks. Rook takes f2, knight to f5, just breaking the protection between these two pieces. Rook then decides to sacrifice the exchange by taking on f5. He takes f5, queen takes f5, rook f8, queen e6 check. And now there's a repetition of moves. Queen c2, and black just simply repeats the moves twice in order not to repeat but gain some time on the clock. This is a rapid event, and getting 10 seconds for every move is quite a bit. Queen e6 check, and here black deviates by going to h7 with the king. After knight h4, rook f1 gets played, and again the troubles with the back rank continues. Bishop g3, queen d1, threatening checkmate immediately. Queen g6 check, king g8, queen e8 check, bishop f8, queen e6 check, and the king hides on h7. Now if the queen continues to check here, bishop g7 just stops all the checks. The only logical check is on g6, but then the king escapes by going to h8. If the queen now checks on f6, the bishop will return. After a check on d8, the king just hides on h7 comfortably. So, just to point out that after king h8, Yangyi decided to play king to h3. Now, after this, the pawn on d4 got taken, and white is still sitting with plenty of mating threats and complications in the form of rook h1. I would just like to point out that in this unlikely position there was a forced draw in the form of bishop f2. Bishop f2 cuts file in order to look at moves like queen to f6. So if the rook does choose to take the bishop on f2, knight f5 gets played. Just to explain as well, this also allows the king a square escape if rook h1 gets played. If the rook chooses to take on f2, knight f5, again the objective is to cut off this file, and b5, and now white can just simply force repetition. Bishop f2 was missed, but king h3 was played to avoid mate for the time being. Queen takes d4, knight f3, rook h1 check, bishop h2, queen to f4, e6, bishop d6, and now this h2 pin is becoming lethal. Queen e8 check, queen f8, stopping all the checks, queen d7, bishop takes h2, knight takes h2, and after queen f5 check, we see the double attack in the form of queen e5 check. The king moves, then you can simply continue with checking until you can offer the queen exchanges. After the queen exchanges, the rook simply goes to d1, and cannot hang on to this passed pawn, which leaves them an exchange down. knight e5, king g7, king f3, a5, rook d6, knight c4, and now after black picks up the pawn, it meant resign is the only thing for you Yangyi to do. I have to say, a very well played game by both players. Rather sad that bishop f2 was not seen, but again, these are the type of double-edged positions that people, especially top GMs, love to have a debate about, and rapid time constraints, it's not always easy to find the best moves. But again, this is what makes this form of chess so entertaining for us as viewers. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to hit the subscribe button, check out the videos. Please be free to comment in the comment section and tell us what you think we need to review, what you guys want to see, what you guys want us to do. We will be sure to get back to you with some positive feedback and some great more content. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon.